Hey everyone, we're back with another devlog for our 2D bullet hell MMO called Wyld Land. We're developing it with just a team of 4. We have a programmer, a designer, an artist, and a community manager, that's me, on the team. The biggest question our community has is, when will the next test be? And we'll announce that next week. Wyld Land development started over a year ago, and new features have been added each time we've done a public test. New bosses, infusions, new biomes, environmental hazards, weekly challenges. We're pretty happy with what we've added to the game so far, but we're not quite done yet. Our next beta test will feature raids, and we're going to spend a little bit more time developing and polishing this content since we think it's very important to get this right. We'll have at least one raid that will require a party of 6 people to clear. Since we are not wiping player data for this test, if you were an endgame player during the last test, you'll be able to start raiding pretty quickly once the game goes live again. If you're new and haven't had a chance to play yet, it shouldn't take too long until you're geared up enough to challenge the raid, so we hope that many of you can challenge it during our next test. I've talked about the design of our raids in our previous videos, but I really do think our raids will be the killer feature of the game. We've already tested raid mechanics internally, and it really adds a deeper level to the combat, and it really makes the game feel like an MMO instead of a game where you just fight enemies while standing near other players. Another primary goal of our next test will be to test out the new engine. A new engine means new bugs, new issues to work out, so if the game doesn't feel quite as it should during this next test, don't worry, we'll be taking feedback and making improvements so future tests and Wyld Land's launch can be as perfect as they can be. There might be a few more systems added for the next test, but we'll leave that for next week's devlog. Our artist has also been creating new assets at a pretty fast pace. Here we have some new tile sets, but we've also been developing new enemies. This guy is called Burn Notice, and his bullets will leave a burning effect when hit. This one is Void Weaver. It creates areas on the ground that cause slow. We're adding a few more enemies into the game as well, but we'll save those for you to discover on your own. We're still cooking up new bosses as well. We recently did a poll to add a new hunter boss in, and pretty much everyone across our socials liked the design of number 4 the most, so here's a more polished version of that sprite. Our art has come a long way, but this might also be an area where we look to spice up a bit more in the future. We really like the pixel assets and look that we're using, but lighting and particle effects could go a long way to making Wyld Land have a bit more juice. But this is something we're starting to think on as well. If you have any thoughts on what we could add to improve things with our visuals, let us know. While we're gearing up for the next beta test, you can go wishlist the game on Steam. Right now, it's the best way to support us. Even a few wishlists can really make the difference. We still have a few more beta tests and surprises before we launch the game, so stay tuned and see you next time.